Good afternoon. It's afternoon where I am, and we're going to be doing Cancer reading for the full moon this month on Halloween through. This will be a time period through November 15th. So this is a full moon reading, culmination effects of a full moon. Really, you can see them at the next full moon, but they um, start to kind of go into the new moon. So there's this relationship with the new moon and the full moon. The moon rules the sign of Cancer, so for what it's worth. So that's how I personally am doing the readings, is by full moon and new moons. So this is the full moon period. This is a 2-week period, roughly. So what's going to be going on for Cancers? Because Cancers are one of the most sensitive signs of the zodiac, emotionally speaking and intuitively speaking. So full moons can be intense for you anyway, since you are highly connected to the moon. You maybe are making decisions about a new job or something, or a new relationship, but probably something more like, are you going to buy a house? You're selling your house. You think about a new job. And you know what you want. I feel like you know the choice that you want to make, but maybe you don't think it's the right choice for you. You know that your feelings align with it, but you're not sure that it's possible or something along those lines. Let me dive in there and see, what is this about? Something maybe you're afraid of coming to light, because these cards it seems like you're hesitant, but we'll be gentle, okay? It's alright, because you're going through a transformation, okay? It's a transformation card right here. So it's okay if you're feeling things that are like contradicting, or if you're not completely or even like anywhere close to being confident about your choices that you're wanting to make. The one in particular with a new job or new home, or maybe a new partner, but more likely a new structure, maybe a new department within your job. There's something new that either is coming for you or that you want, or maybe it's something new that you weren't really wanting, but you feel good about what you do want. And then those two things might be different and they might be the same. So maybe you feel good about how you make decisions with regards to your emotions, but maybe this decision was made without you, or maybe it's something that you don't have a lot of control over, or it's a decision that you're feeling insecure about. This card came up, the Chariot. This is your card, Cancer. I love that. I love that there's a rhinoceros here. Rhinoceros have tough skin, first of all, and some of them, especially the males, tend to charge and move very quickly, so there's a movement with it, Chariot. So you're about to go on a journey of transformation. You've probably already been on this journey. These are very, very powerful cards, okay? And they're numbers 7 and 13, which for me personally are very significant. 7 is more of a mystical number, so is 13. 13 for me represents self-transformation and realization. So that's not a surprise there. You got a lot of big things coming. Let's look into this, because this is very profound. So what does this mean? Because there's something really big coming your way. It might relate to this decision of a new home or a new city, travel, but I feel like this is more to do with you in general as a person. Are you really coming into your own, I feel like, perhaps, and really feeling comfortable with your life? Let's see here. These cards keep wanting to hide. It's okay if you need to take some time to rest. Are you being hard on yourself for that? Or maybe you haven't thought about it, or just be really gentle with yourself and don't take too many actions, and don't just rest, like especially mental rest. Taking a nap, taking a bath, especially for Cancers, is very positive. Being a water sign in your element. For the Taurus video, I recommended taking 1 to 2 baths during this 2-week period from Halloween to November 15th. I would recommend the same thing for Cancer, and you might even be able to take up to 2 or 3 a week comfortably, because you can handle that amount of water, emotionally speaking. And you might be sensitive, so it might be nice for you. It might help you relax. It might help you sink into remembering, like, you have the emotional capacity and skill set that you do, and you have the profound feelings that you do. And that bath time might help you remember how positively you do view yourself and how you act on emotion in a good way. Like, um, maybe you feel like you've been through a lot and this transformation period is reminding you of that or is reminiscent of that. Maybe this is something you really are aware of and it's heavily on your mind. I feel like, have you felt like a victim a lot in the past? Maybe that's transformed now or in the process of transforming, but that is a heavy thing that's going to come up. So during this time period, realize that the burdens that you have are all in the mind and that there's something more there. Maybe what's on your mind has a lot of validity and oh, it's keeping you from focusing on your dream. Okay, you are wanting to go towards this dream, whether it's a new house, but I feel like it's a really big chapter, maybe new career or new something very new and exciting. Maybe something you've wanted for a long time, but you are being blocked to that because of what's weighing you down with your thoughts. And I feel like a lot of that has to do with the past. Uh, or maybe you're observing people that have gone through similar things. Maybe you're thinking about the political climate, the health climate, like factors involved. So there's a lot weighing down. Maybe this whole year has just been a lot for you. So it might not even be all related to what's going on with you. It just could be outside things. But these are affecting your mind. And it's kind of blocking you from seeing like how you can get to where you want to go. But you can get there. So I don't know if I wouldn't say necessarily that you believe that you can't make it, but those things that are in your mind are really blurring the picture for you, and I'm not really sure if you're aware of that. So things might become more clear if you stop worrying about all the details so much and trust the feelings. Yeah. And I know that this journey is going to be scary for you because as a Cancer, you've already been on a lifetime of a journey and probably subsets of journeys, you know, in one long string of themes of the same kind of pattern of journeys, you know. So like I can understand why you're hesitant and afraid to go on this new journey. Probably a lot of new aspects to this, really, really new aspects. I'm getting a really new decision for you, a whole new direction, and there's a lot of fear associated with that naturally. You're afraid to go on a journey with that. And this has been coming up for a lot of the signs, like fear of the natural qualities that the signs possess, because this is the Chariot card again, the Cancer card, and it's come back this time upside down. So I feel like you might be aware that you're going on a journey and even want to go on this journey, but you are very hesitant because it is scary. And it's almost like, do you not believe that you can make this journey? Because let me point back to your entire life and have you look at your life and how many journeys you've been on and how have you managed through those journeys and where have those journeys brought you to the place you are now. If you think about that and remember how in tune you are with your senses and emotions and intuition, remember that and keep reminding yourself of that, and that will kind of help you, like little markers along your path. You're like, all right, right, I don't have to worry about that. The feelings I have are pulling me towards this direction. I'm going to go with what I feel. I feel like you've done that a lot in your life, so this is not a new feeling. But for some reason, you're distrusting yourself more than usual. And that could be to do with the climate of the year. It's a very intense year, but it has a lot to do with you. You are wanting to stay inside, like inside. Like this is a typical trait for Cancer too. We have the Hermit here. So this is someone who wants to be alone or just retreat and take time for themselves. I suggest maybe you do that when it comes to picturing this journey or whatever it is you want to embark upon, a new project, a new career. You know, sit and reflect with it. That's okay. Dream about what you want during your bath time. There's also coupled with, we're getting a lot of major cards here with you, Cancer, so there's a lot of transformation going on for you. So be gentle with yourself. And if you remember, water is very fluid, and it can also be very powerful. So don't forget your power. Don't forget that water can also drown you. For water signs, this is less of an issue because they deal with water so much, but it can definitely, you can definitely be oversaturated with water, but I don't really see that as being a particular issue for you. Currently, or during this transition, I feel like that's more of a past thing that you've worked through. With this card, though, there's also the Hanged Man, so I get a double sense, and it's upside down. So maybe you don't want to. Maybe you want to venture out. Maybe you are tired of sitting still. Maybe during this pandemic, you haven't gone out a lot because you're working from home or something like that. Or there's this yearning to go towards this journey, but also hesitation, or like it's more like you don't like that, you feel stuck. But I feel like it's okay. Even if you, the feeling here is antsy, like I want to do something, but you might even be afraid to do something. But the feeling is I'm tired of like resting and sitting on this idea or whatever. I know what decision I want to make, right? Excuse me. Trust yourself, trust your inner reflection. Keep returning in with yourself. And it's okay if, whether you want it or not, you're taking time for yourself. And this can be isolation at home or just in terms of in your mind and body. And there's nothing wrong with that. As cancers, that's actually very natural for you. And you do need to kind of come out of your shell some. But for right now, I feel like there's a benefit in self reflection. And you can also share these things with a partner, spouse, friend. It doesn't have to be completely isolated, but just make sure that you are taking care of yourself and kind of making sure that whatever this decision is, you're sitting with it with yourself entirely first. Um, you are heavily supported through this journey. You have everything you need. Maybe you're aware of that already. You already know you have the resources, but it's also in a direction of like building more. So if it's a new career, it's heading in a very positive, like more abundance is coming. So like more money or more sense of security. Like that could even be emotional security, Cancer. Okay, so keep going along with whatever journey or whatever's scaring you, because more is gonna come from that. Yeah, don't be. This is a very much a Cancer card, the Pilgrim, which has to do with taking a voyage um, or exploring new territory. Don't be afraid to do that. You've been on through so many journeys and rides in your life that you don't need to be afraid of this. I'm not really sure why you are. Is it fear? What is going on here for Cancer? What is holding you back? What are you sensitive to? I feel like there's something that you're very sensitive to that is taking it's the center of your attention, and you are worried about it. What is on your mind? What is your feelings picking up? You're worried that hold on. Hmm. You're worried that carrying forward might cause some loss for you, or that there's not a connection to you, or that other people aren't going to understand why you're doing it and they may not follow you along that journey. That to me feels like a complete fear, and not that it's not just or valid, but it seems to me to be just a fear. Um, yeah, hold on, we'll get to these here in a second, because these are important. Yeah, these are all important. Okay. Is there any more? No? Yeah, there are. Okay. Okay, Cancer. Let's do this. So I feel like that insecurity is valid, but it is not um, in actuality. Okay, so you will find that you connect with this new journey, even if it doesn't feel like you belong or feel like you are accepted in it. Um, just know that no matter how it feels, these worries that you have about things coming together or people supporting you or understanding what you're doing or helping you with resources. Maybe you feel like people aren't helping you. Maybe you feel like people don't understand the connection with why you're doing it, but they don't have to, all right? Unless you really want to explain it to them, but some people just aren't going to understand. And I feel like that is causing you trepidation and you feel like you're not going to get to where you're going or they're not going to follow you. But I get the feeling they will. So keep true to your heart, Cancer. Keep true to your heart. Your feelings are your guide. You have been through so much, okay, but a lot of that hurt is over. You might still dwell on it, and so that makes it present. But that's okay because a lot of it you've already kind of undergone, and maybe there's some things from your past that are coming up, and they might definitely be coming up around Halloween time. So if you find yourself crying, cry as much as possible because this is going to be a time for you to release, especially in a place like the bathroom, bathtub, where it can be easy to like wipe and rinse with other water. So like we want to keep like with like, and with you being a water sign, we're also in a feminine sign here, full moon in Taurus. So be very soft and gentle with yourself and use your element to your advantage because that is to your advantage. Stay true to your heart and to your softness. Stay true to your sensitivity. for some reason you don't believe in your creativity, or you believe that it's taking too long, or maybe you don't see how it's culminating within the womb. So there's things that you're not aware of, but it is in the process of becoming. Trust the gestation process. Stick to your inner vision of beauty, whether you see yourself as feminine and beautiful, or the things that you feel are beautiful in life that give you a deeper sense of fulfillment and meaning for life, not just for yourself, but for how you see the world and all people. So, like, you believe that there's beauty in whatever, all things, or but there might be specific things that resonate this kind of feeling of appreciation of beauty for you. And I feel like you see this in other people and want it for other people. So, remember that you are the vessel of beauty, okay? Whatever that means to you. So, you are the way in which people perceive beauty. That's important. If you don't have rose quartz, I suggest you obtain some for this period. Before, you had been blocked to things in your path, and you felt like people didn't appreciate you for the wisdom that you had, and people maybe treated you like you were stupid, or that you didn't know as much as you knew, or maybe because of your emotional intelligence and softness, they assumed you were naive. And perhaps you are naive, Cancer, but not really. Naivete is something to be cherished within you as a person and as a zodiac sign. It is not a weakness. You are not weak. Okay, I want to tell you that. You are not weak, and if you didn't follow through with things in the past, or something blocked you and you felt like it destroyed your world, that was not your fault. And the way you handled that was not your fault. The way you handled that was actually beautiful. So if you think that you were too depressed or too upset or too emotional, no, that is exactly what you needed. And continue with that, continue through that, because you do have the wisdom of clarity, especially of emotions. So these things might arise within you about the past and past ways you felt, or patterns in your life of people or things that have happened to you that, or maybe one big event that have happened to you that resonate and keep bringing up these feelings of maybe deep depression or severe sadness, unacceptance, but things are timeless for you, Cancer, okay? And it's almost like you're kind of stuck in time with thinking about all these things. Be easier on yourself and realize time is really an illusion. Like, obviously, it exists and we move through it, but it's not so important as we make it out to be. And you are more connected with the fluidity of time than most people are. So remember that. And so if things are coming up in your mind about time periods and times that you felt very low, remember that you are connected to time and you are in the present and that you can view anything. I just shuffled and it came right back out. So you have a very keen sense awareness of time and detachment from time. So this can be tricky because you can dissociate and return in your shell. That's a possibility here. But remember, your true quality with time here is that you're like a captain of the seas with time. So if you find yourself being stuck on memories and time periods, remember that, oh, this is all a big web of time, and from my now, I'm accessing all these different points, and they all kind of connect. And so if I return to my present, it doesn't really mean that all those time periods disappear or anything. They're still all connected, but they don't have to affect me negatively. So if I am from my present and I am fixated on certain things and dwelling on them, that might make me feel like I am drowning as a Cancer. So just remember that, oh wait, I have this higher awareness of being able to see things throughout time, in the future even. So remember that and be very, 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 very open to yourself and sensitive. This is the card Agape, which is full, unlimited, unconditional love. And you already have this for the world mainly, and for your home life, for your actual home, or for your family, and for your career. But like, remember that this comes from within you, and you are the source of Agape. And that is going to be to your, it's going to help heal you, and it's going to help you through this time period. So if you find that depression is coming back and sinking in, or memories of depression, like, treat that with an open heart and remember to love yourself. And remember, maybe take a look back in your life and see the ways in which you did love yourself, and maybe you judge yourself for the ways in which you didn't. But those were just periods along the way of gestation. Like those were just moments where maybe you couldn't stick up for yourself, and maybe you had to take care of other people, for example, or put other people's needs ahead of your own. It doesn't mean that you did not love yourself. That actually means you loved yourself more than most people, because you had the strength to put yourself aside. You could sustain yourself even through the most awful emotional conditions for the benefit and to help people feel like they're okay and they belong in this universe and in this world. You are a gift to humanity. You help make people feel like they have a purpose. I feel like that's something you needed to hear, so we'll just sit with that for a moment. You are here with a purpose, and your purpose is to help people realize that they have a really deep, meaningful life purpose. Each and every person you come into contact with, whether they are conscious of it or not, on some kind of subatomic level at the very least, they get that from your presence alone, but especially with your interactions and your attention to them. So I'd suggest that you look back in your life and think about all the times that you've uplifted people, emotionally especially. And if you can do that for others, then you can definitely do it for yourself. I'm getting the sense you have a partner. This could be a male partner or a female partner, but this is like a rock. This is the king card, but I feel like a solid foundation. And to me, I'm getting the sense of a partner, romantic partner or business partner, but some kind of something, some sense of support that you do have and that you are aware of. Don't be afraid to lean on that. Maybe you've been spending a lot of time in your mind, and you feel like maybe that your partner or whoever it is you're discussing things with or thinking about talking things with will not understand and feel like maybe they wouldn't understand and be like, well, that doesn't really fit in today's world, but you know that it does, because today's world is constantly changing, and your partner knows that. And if you talk about your feelings more to them, they will understand exactly what you're going through and what you're feeling. So don't be afraid to share your feelings. Don't feel like you have to stay boxed in. Don't feel like your partner is going to not understand you or want to box you into where you are currently or where you've come from, or where they think and you think society wants you to fit in. This is not about fitting in right now. This is about being genuine to your heart and to your feelings and following those feelings. And also, I would suggest expressing those feelings. Excuse me, to someone who is comfortable, who you're comfortable with. Do you believe in angels? This is a piece of angelite. If you believe in angels, I would suggest praying to angels for help if you are feeling emotionally lost at any time. Especially like, hold on, I'm getting Ariel, Gabriel, Haniel, there's one more, Raphael. So those would be some good entities to call upon. I'm also feeling like Artemis the Hunter. If you're a spiritual person, maybe looking into that energy. Diana. Anything else? I feel like that's good. Mother Mary. So if you're religious, maybe looking down that pathway. Mary Magdalene, even. I would actually suggest you look more towards that direction if you're feeling pulled towards that direction. Mary Magdalene. So whether it's you do research on these beings, or you pray to them, or even just consider the thought of what that might even be like, or that they might even exist as energy alone, that might help you connect with angels. Consider the existence of angels, because you are more sensitive than most people. Of the zodiac signs, you're one of the more, probably the second, I would say second most sensitive to spirit and to energy. Definitely energy and emotion and intuition, but definitely spirit too. So don't be afraid to call on your spiritual team, whether you believe they're there or whether you know who they are, they're there. So all you have to do is ask mentally with your heart, I want to feel better. Get yourself a piece of angelite. It doesn't have to be this big. This is more costly. You can get a very small tumbled piece of it for $3 to $5, and pray with your heart, or just hold it, lay down with your heart in a bath, something like that. That's going to help you guys. Seek outside assistance, I think, is the biggest message with that. So if that's something that doesn't resonate with you in terms of asking assistance from angels or God or whatever, if that's uncomfortable for you, think about asking assistance from those that you love, whether that's a partner, a family member, someone who you view as a mentor, a mother, or a motherly figure. someone who you know gets your heart. Don't be afraid to open up, and do not be afraid to express yourself. Maybe even write it down, but for you, I feel like talking is going to be really big for you during this 2 weeks. So if you don't feel comfortable doing it around Halloween because you're feeling so much, that's okay. If you feel like you're being bogged down by emotion and you need to talk about it, please do. If you feel like you're weighing your partner down, maybe take some space and be like, okay, if this is too much for you, I can go take a break or go eat something and give you a break, but I'd really like to discuss this more with you. I think that you would find that your partner would be very open to that, and also if you needed the break, they would give that to you if you needed to take time, but I think you would find that it's not weighing them down nearly as much as you think it is, and that if you check in with them and tell them, be honest with how you're feeling about expressing yourself also, not just what you're feeling and expressing that, but expressing to them as you're talking out your feelings, how and where you are along that path, and am I overwhelming you with too much? I think you'll find that they will be like, no, of course not, keep going, or sure, let's just watch a TV program for 30 minutes and then we'll continue the discussion, or whenever's ready for you, dear lover, okay? So be gentle with yourself and continue to think about communication, whether that's internally praying or discussing with loved ones. What a great reading for you, Cancer. I'm very proud of the work you've done, and what a shining light you are for all of humanity. Happy full moon and enjoy Halloween. Bye-bye.